What's up, guys? Tanner Larson here from Build, Grow, Scale. Finally got the camera working again, so time for a few more car videos. Today, I just want to talk to you a little bit about Facebook ads and using them to drive traffic to your store. So everybody kind of gets too worked up about the concept of driving traffic with Facebook ads and like, oh, there's so many options, it's so confusing. It's gotta be like magic. You gotta be a wizard to do it. And while there is definitely an art to it, and I have some friends of mine as well as mastermind members in the Black Label that are just amazing at running Facebook ads. The plain and simple of it is that it's a very systematic process, and it's not nearly as scary as you make it out to be. And most people overcomplicate it, and they actually sabotage themselves by trying to think too far into it when they should just be setting up simple ads and then letting them run. So in this video, I said, you know what, why don't I give you some of the tips, the same stuff that people are going to charge you for in their Facebook ads courses. How about I just tell you? Because if that helps you get more success, that's a win for me and a win for you, right? Because everybody's happy, right? So first thing, there's what you can optimize your campaign for all different things, right? There's all these different options: engagement, impressions, reach, conversion, website clicks, that kind of stuff. Used to be everybody ran on website clicks, okay? Well, Facebook's Pixel has gotten, the new Pixel they've released is so advanced, and the machine learning that Facebook's bidding system can use, or does use with the billions of calculations a second, is so awesome, and it's getting so much better, that using the real Pixel, the new Pixel, and then optimizing for website conversions is pretty much the only way you want to run traffic if you're driving it to your store or a funnel or a landing page, okay? So make sure you optimize for conversion. Once you've optimized for conversion, you have to actually set up a conversion pixel on your store, whether you're optimizing for leads or purchase or add to cart or whatever. You need to make sure you have that pixel in place before you create the ad, and then you assign that pixel. So let's say you want to optimize for purchase of your spatula, right? So you're going to put the FB the FB purchase pixel on the receipt page of your spatula store. Then you link that to your Facebook ad so that when it's optimizing for conversions, it's going to optimize for that specific conversion. So what Facebook's going to go out and do is try to get you the right people to match to that conversion and show your ad to the people who are most likely to take advantage of that. The next thing is your targeting, okay? You only want to restrict your targeting enough in the demographic range by where you want to ship to, okay? So if you're only shipping to the US, then make sure you target only the US so you don't have orders coming in that you have to refund for elsewhere in the country, okay? If you don't know your age demographic, do not guess. Leave it wide, leave it open, and let Facebook tell you, based on your results, what your best demographic is, okay? The other thing is, unless you know for a fact that your product is only purchased by men or only for women or something like that, chances are, at least at first, you want to leave that wide open, leave it male or female, so that Facebook can then optimize better and deliver you the actual results that fit your ad the best, rather than what you think, okay? Because a lot of times people don't do the proper market research in advance, so they're guessing. There's no data backing up their decisions, okay? The next thing is you want to target by specific interests, okay? Passion interests, like for spatulas, cooking would be a passion interest, okay? Whereas, and then there's also brand affinity type interests. So Betty Crocker, KitchenAid, things like that. Those are affinity interests. Like KitchenAid, every woman who bakes is in love with the KitchenAid blender, right? Vitamix, those are affinity type interests. Now, the thing with those, you want to target enough of those interests so that you have an audience size, a potential audience size of between, say, 5 and 15 million people, okay? This is something else that goes contrary to what people think, is everybody was like, oh, I got to have this super small, super targeted audience. Okay, well, that's true if you actually know who your audience is. But the problem with a super small audience, number one, is if you don't have that audience right, you're not going to get very many sales. Number two, you're going to exhaust that audience very, very quickly. And if you exhaust the audience, that means you can't scale the ad, okay? You can't really scale. So if you don't have an audience size that's going to allow you to scale, you're kind of screwed, okay? You're never going to have a hugely scalable store where you're going to be able to ramp up to $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day in traffic, which honestly, guys, as scary as that sounds, trust me, you want that. You want to be spending $20,000 a day in traffic. because if you're doing that profitably, you're very happy, trust me. Okay, so the other thing with that is, now that we've got this ad set going, all right, your daily budget, you can't do the $5 daily budgets anymore, guys. Facebook's not going to optimize for that very well anymore based on a lot of the algorithm changes and the way the pixel's working. You can start there, but you're going to have to start ramping it up, okay? So once we have our ad running, what our goal is with this initial ad set we're talking about is to get 1,000 or so, maybe 500 is okay, but I prefer 1,000 actions on your pixel. So you want your conversion pixel that you're optimizing for, in this case a purchase for the spatula, to fire 1,000 times. That means 1,000 people have made a purchase. Then you take that pixel data and you create a lookalike audience off of that pixel and let Facebook do a 1%, a 2%, a 3% of variations of lookalike audience. And each one of those lookalike audiences, as long as they're 1% apart, are going to have an audience size of about 2 million people. Okay, and these are Facebook's best guess and best estimated reach of the ideal person who's going to be your buyer, because that they're taking all the data they have, running it through their algorithm and through all their data analysis and their machine learning system to say, hey, here's the 1,000 people that purchased. Let's find all the people that are, the most closely aligned with that in 1 degree variations of separation. Okay, then if you do it, you can create up to 10 different variation audiences on lookalikes. So each 10 degrees of separation, each audience is 1 degree. That gives you 10 audiences of roughly 2 million people to start running your ads to. Now you can start scaling, now you can optimize your ads within each one of those ad sets, and you can make a lot more money. This is the magic, guys, between about Facebook ads. It's very simple, it's very easy to do. It just takes a little bit of effort and data analysis and giving it the time. You will have to spend some money, you will lose some money before you start making money. That's just part of the advertising game. It's just how it is. Okay, but what I just told you guys is what you will find in a lot of the paid Facebook ads courses out there, and they're going to be like, hey, you got to buy this super secret knowledge. Well, I just gave it to you. So save your money, put it towards your ad budget, and get out there and start running some ads, making some money, and let me know how it goes. See ya.